Hey, how are you? Dylan Reese here, reporting live from Los Angeles, the Soundcheck podcast. I'm with my handsome co-host, Adam Yokum. How we doing,
How
Adam?
how we doing, big guy?
Good, good.
Living
Right.
good. I've got a turtle chocolate in my mouth right now, so probably not the best for an audio recording. So I'm gonna just let you handle this intro here for a
That's why
moment.
you're a professional. Um, Adam's got me up bright and early, West Coast time. Got some things to do, so we are recording. Hopefully, I'm awake enough to actually give my thoughts and ideas. Um, we have a specific topic to cover today, something I've been thinking about. And honestly wanted to hear your thoughts too, so I figured we'd just do it live on air. Um, the topic is the gap between your taste and your output, and hopefully you understand what I mean by that. I think you do. You're a smart guy.
Yeah, I think I get
Um,
what you mean by that.
but essentially, I think it's something that anyone that's an artist or anyone that's trying to build anything really, like even if you're trying to open a restaurant or something, look at the things that you really enjoy as a consumer and the things that you gravitate towards from an objective standpoint, and then look at the thing that you're making from an objective standpoint, which sometimes is really, really hard to do because we're obviously biased. It's very close to us, it means a lot to us, all these things, right? But if you're able to zoom out and really go, okay, the reason why I'm not seeing success is because X, Y, and Z are not good enough or are not the same thing. They're not hitting exactly what I'm aiming for. Um, and that's what I need to work on and fix. And I think this gets tougher and tougher the better you get and the further along you are, because it becomes very granular and like particular, and it kind of seems like you're just being an asshole to yourself. But ultimately, I think that's what makes the best artists, or the best chefs, the best like anything that's like anyone that's trying to be a true master of their craft. It really lies within the details and being extremely intentional with what you're making and putting out to the world.
Yeah, dude, it's like if you're trying to teach a kid how to play basketball, pretty easy to know where to start, how to get better. Let's start dribbling, let's start getting a little bit of shooting form going. But if you're Kyrie Irving, it's much more detailed about how do you get better, you know?
Yeah.
Um, So I think the same thing, like you said, applies across, and the better you get at something, the harder it is to dial it in on those, and really important to think about it. Um, and there's always going to be stuff, I think, but organizing your thoughts and attacking that actively is a surefire way to get better.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I love that analogy. I mean, there's always a basketball analogy to be made when I'm in the room. Um, but
Always.
yeah, like Brandon Williams, he's a point guard on the Mavericks. He's in the NBA. He's nasty at basketball. Crazy handle. He's probably literally talking to Kyrie weekly or whatever because he's sitting on the bench and he's like, how do I become you? How do I do, how do I get even more efficient? How do I take a half a second off of my release time on my jump shot so I don't get blocked that 2 times I got blocked last week? How do I, uh, whatever, improve the angle on the pick and roll? Like all these little details that people don't even know what they're looking at. They just see them. They're like, yo, this is awesome. This is NBA basketball. I'm having a good time watching this. Same people are listening to music. They might hear, an artist that they really like, and they're like, why isn't this artist huge? They're dope. And I think a lot of there's a lot of reasons that go into that. Marketing dollars, just time, exposure, luck, all this stuff. But I really do. I like to believe in my warm little heart that the best music will always rise to the top and find their people. And also, I just know that as an artist, that's something that we can control. So instead of sitting here complaining about or thinking about how can I raise $5 million to spend on my album, how can I make my music better than it is? Even though I'm very happy with my product, how can I make it actually strive for greatness? You know, it's something I've been thinking about a lot because I think I'm finally to a point where I can zoom out and give myself critical feedback on, the output, like my actual product. And I think my music's great, but I also think that there's some things that fall short when you compare it to the things that I'm truly inspired by and the thing that makes me go, wow, like that's really special, you know? Have you ever had these thoughts
All the time.
for your own self?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
What do you think what do you think the biggest thing is that you've improved on in the last like year or two um when it comes to this?
Um, when it comes to this, just making better music, I think knowing what I want, having a clear vision has helped me make better music.
That's the
Because
first step.
before
Not to cut you off, but that's the first step because I
yeah,
think a lot of artists just fire up a mic and pick a beat and they're just fucking saying whatever and doing whatever.
yep,
Got to be super super intentional. I think we talked about this maybe on the first episode with you, but sorry,
yeah.
continue.
Yeah, it's like if you're just firing up a beat, finding something that sounds good, and then recording songs to it, you're gonna make good music. But it wasn't until I was like, I want my production to like have these acoustic guitars and I want it to have this like warm acoustic feeling, but I also want there to be these like saturated, almost like live drums that are like edited to be hip hop drums. And this is like the sound, and I want to do melodic vocals on it, and I want the songs to have like a good meaning. It wasn't until I like had all those pieces in front of me where I'm like, this is what I want to do, where then I could go even further and be like, okay, this specific acoustic guitar in this tuning with these type of strings is like an even better sound than I want. Or like if this drum sample is what I like, we're gonna actually like record it live. Like there's some like wood chop type of, instead of a snare, there's almost like a wood chop noise that I really like. And we were like just hitting something off a desk and then like manipulating that sound to be exactly what we wanted. That's something that you don't really get when you're just surfing for beats. You find something that catches your ear and you make a song. I think that's led me to make better music, is just having a clear vision of the general sound I want to make and then taking that sound into a bunch of different pieces and being like, how can I improve on all of this? So, just being focused was a big thing that helped me, having an intention with the music.
Yeah. Having a clear direction and something to aim for.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I do think that's the first step. Um Also, how many times do you sit down to go make a song? Maybe you've got some pre-made production waiting for you one way or another, whether you made it in the last session or find something online or start with a loop or whatever. How many times do you go to do that and then 3 hours later you go, "Uh, this isn't good enough and I don't like it and I need to start over or do something else." How many times does that happen, like percentage-wise?
All the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know how many songs I have out right now. Let's just say I have 30 songs out. Of the 30 songs that are out, there's probably like 300 of them that were like that. That it's
Yeah.
like just it's like
Half-baked
it's
ideas that
good.
just
It's a half
didn't get
baked
there.
idea,
Yeah.
but it never sees the light of day because it's not like not stoked over it. Like wow, this is sick.
And I think that's important for people to know, whether you're a fan or like another artist or both. It's like that's kind of what it takes to see the type of improvement that you've showcased. And maybe that's all behind the scenes and people don't even think about that or even maybe they don't give a shit, but it's like that's kind of what it takes. You didn't record 30 songs and you're like, "Damn, Adam's just like nasty now." Like, I don't know, he's just good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
there's
no,
people in my comments when I drop a song and they're like, "This dude doesn't miss." Like, "Bro, how is every song great? You don't miss." And I'm just thinking like, "Dog, if you could take a peek at my hard drive,
yeah.
like there's
This
misses."
the songs you put out are like it's like actually the highlight reel.
Exactly.
It's like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna show y'all the songs that suck ass and the melody was just like a C minus, you know?
Yeah.
Or I was just the lyric was just the corniest thing I ever thought of, and for some reason I said it into my microphone. Like I've got so many of those, you know? Um, but yeah, I think it's about reps and then yeah, just trying to be overly specific, almost in a nerdy way, where sometimes I'm like annoying myself, and I think that's a good thing. But then I also have to step back and be like, okay, but also you're good at this, and just trust your instinct and just go with the flow and don't overthink. And I feel like that's the hardest balance for me as an artist and songwriter, to be overly critical, overly analytical, um, and then also, yeah, just like trust my gut and kind of live in the moment and just be like, nah, fuck it. Like it sounds great. Like I love this, you know?
Yeah.
Um, More specifically, I think a few years ago, I was settling too early on which vocal takes I was using, especially in the genre that I live in, which is the R&B genre. I think what makes a lot of that music great is the dynamic in the vocals and the emotion that you're singing with and your ability also. Like if someone has the ability to do all these riffs and runs and like 4-part harmonies or whatever, a lot of times that makes that music more impressive and more enjoyable to listen to for someone that likes that genre of music, me included, right? So I'm not a technically trained singer. Like we talked about a few episodes ago, I was rapping in my homie's basement, copying Big L and Lil Wayne. Like I don't come from the church. I never took singing lessons, like all these things, right? So it feels like only the past couple years I've really had to be picky with myself because I practiced my way into becoming a pretty good singer, like better than most people, but also not elite where like I walk into a room of R&B singers, I'm not the best technical singer in that room. I'm just not. Probably a oh, I won't say probably, but I might be a better songwriter. I might be making cooler music than some of those people. But that's because I have the reps in doing that. But I've never really tried to be like, okay, I'm going to push myself to hit this note or do this run. And I feel, yeah, like the last couple of years, I've been really taking my time with that and being really hard on myself. Um, because my 78% good vocal take sounds good to me and to a lot of people. So I think over the years, I'd be like, cool, done. I'm just going to use that and then move on to the verse or move on to the next song or whatever. But if I took another 49 takes at that one line in the hook to like really pinpoint exactly the way I wanted to sing it, or okay, I'm gonna try it a little bit more breathy, or I'm gonna do it falsetto this time instead of this. Like just really dial it in and be overly particular. That's when I feel like I've made some of my best songs. And honestly, that part is really fun, but you have to also know when to draw the line and stop and have to trust your gut when you have the right one.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like that's kind of the game, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
there's a fine line between like doing it as many times as you need to just make it perfect. And there's other times where you're like switching stuff around and it's like, yo, no one's even gonna notice this. Like this is like barely even a change to the song, you know? So you can't like over obsess about it. I think there's also some magic to the idea of like um capturing the feel on like the early recordings. Like whenever
yeah.
I'm just kind of like freestyling an idea and like figuring out what I'm going to do, some of those early just natural recordings sound better than when I'm like really focused on doing it well. So, yeah, it's just a balance of like trying to nail it, trying to get it exactly how you want it, and also, yeah, like you said, not overthinking it.
'Cause that first take, you're not thinking about it. You're just feeling it, and you're just trusting yourself, and you're just doing, yeah, what feels good. And I think it takes a seasoned recording artist, and I use those words, intentionally because there's like an art to recording music, and I think sometimes people forget that. Because I know people that can sing their ass off, but then when they record, they sound like shit because they can't put themselves in the right mind frame, or they're like breathing weird because they're not used to being in that environment, or there's someone in the room that they're like nervous about singing in front of. Like, it's a real art, right? So like, it takes hours and hours and hours and hours behind this mic, sitting in the DAW, clicking things around, mixing a different way, whatever, like just really putting in the hours of making songs to be able to know when, yeah, that first take was just it, like, because it's this, and this, not just because I don't want to do it again and I think it's good enough,
Yeah,
like being really like specific again. Like, I think that's super important. Um, Completely lost my train of thought. I'm not gonna lie to you.
all good.
Oh,
We're
I got it.
here. We
I
go.
think some of that comes from coming up as a rapper. We almost know we almost think it's cool to be like, yo, I knocked out 6 songs today, or like I one take that verse, right? That's like such a thing in hip hop.
Yeah,
And I think there's a lot of people that are making hip hop or other genres or whatever that are like, yeah, bro, I just went in there and I just knocked it out and I'm just like super fast. Which, like, I guess that's like impressive, but also if the song's 81 out of 100 and it could have been 96 out of 100, but you just did it too fast, no one cares. Like,
yeah,
no one cares that you made this song fast. No one knows other than the people in the room, and like maybe you tell your friends that or something. But
yeah.
take your fucking time, because great music takes time
And I,
sometimes,
and I
right?
think we have the luxury of saying that and approaching it that way because we have our studios in our home.
Yeah,
I think that whole like, bro, I knocked out 6 songs today. I did this whole song in like 20 minutes comes from people that are like paying for studio time. And it's about we're only in here for 6 hours. So like how much can we get done in that time? Which it's a whole other umbrella of the conversation we're having of how can you make your art the best you can. I think another thing that's important is owning the means of your operation, like having your studio at your house. You have more time, like you said. You could spend 6 hours on one song if you really want to.
shit.
If you
Yeah,
book studio time
spend
and you've
months on
got
some
an
songs.
engineer,
You
you've
know,
got producers with you, other artists, and you spend all 6 hours on one song, everyone's probably gonna be like, "The hell, man! Like, we want to
yeah.
work on something else," you know?
If you don't have a setup at your house, at least for the sake of recording demos and massaging your ideas, you're kind of fried. Like, you're kind of behind, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Like, if you have a certain setup or an engineer that you like to go to and track your final vocal, that's all good. Like, I respect that. Engineers and producers, they got to make their money. They get paid for a reason. I'm not saying you have to be a one man band and sit at your desk and just export the song and Rust style. Uh, but I think it's foolish to go into the studio with like a blank canvas and just be paying for the time that you're writing, creating, picking your harmonies, choosing your background vocals, arranging the beat. You're spending money on. That's why you feel like you're rushing, probably, because you're like, fuck, like it's gonna be another $50 if I don't hurry up. Like, I gotta get this done.
yeah,
That's a crazy way to create, in my opinion. Like, it's just, I would be under so much pressure. I've never done that in my life. I would never do that to myself.
yeah,
I
yeah.
would
It
suck.
sucks.
I would make bad music if I did that.
Yep,
Like,
yeah,
straight up, I would be bad.
dude. That's another reason why, for the longest time, I wouldn't record around other people. Like, if
Yeah.
I had a session with producers or whatever, and we're like making new music or whatever, I would not record vocals there. For one, because I really take my time with it, like,
Huh?
I
Mhm.
will spend 6 hours recording a song or more, like you said, days,
Yeah.
um, and I think there was, I don't know, a little bit of, what's the word? Yeah, you just feel rushed, or and you just feel like you're on other people's time, and, um, I like sitting down and taking a long time making my songs and thinking in depth about them, recording them really well. So, when I'm working with producers and I'm, like, linking up with people to make beats, I'm just, like, giving my opinion on the beat itself, like, "Let's change this guitar, change these drums," and then taking it home to record because I'm not gonna spend 8 hours in someone else's studio working on my vocals,
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. It's just inefficient.
Yeah,
But yeah, besides that, because also there's times where, like you said, some songs just come together quickly. Like my song "Crucial," I made it in 35 minutes. Never touched the session again. Bounced the demo. It's got like 2 million streams or something between the remix and the original. And there was just some magic in that moment, and it was like a hip hop song that was just fun. There wasn't a ton of like technical ability being showcased. It was just like, this is a vibe. I said what I said, done. Like some things are
yeah,
just that, and I don't
yeah.
want to take away from it. But do I think Crucial is like a timeless song that I'm going to be proud of for my entire life? No. I think it was cool as a moment in time. It definitely was great. It helped me, right? But the songs that I am always like, I'll play when I'm 65 and be like, damn, yeah, I made this. Like, I'm nice. I really nailed it with this one. I feel like I only have like 5 of those, you know? And I've tried to record like thousands and thousands of times.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of songs that I really like and I think are really dope, but there's always things that I'm like, that could have been better. I would have did this differently now. I should have taken my time with this line. And it's like, again, I'm being critical and hard on myself. It doesn't mean I'm like not proud of that work, but the more I can take my time and be critical in the moment, and be specific, like I said before, the more I just feel like I'm connecting with what I'm doing. And yeah, it's just becoming a little bit more like bulletproof of a product. Like I want to put something out and be able to show it to, like, if I got in a room, this is kind of a good way to think about it. Like if I was able to get in a room with Leon Thomas or Usher or Marvin Gaye or something, like someone that I'm just like blown away by their ability and like their taste level, would I press play on the thing I just made and be like, check this shit out, guys?
Right,
Or would I be self conscious about it?
right.
And if it's the second one, then like you got some work to do on that thing or in general, you know?
Yeah,
And until you reach that point where you're like, yeah, this is it. Like this, I can play this back to back with something that I'm in love with that, maybe cost a ton of money to make or like had 10 people work on it, like whatever it takes to get it to that point where you can play it next to it and be and feel nothing. Like just be like, yeah, this belongs. Like you should always be thinking about this. And I feel
What do
like,
you
yeah,
what do
like,
you what do you think is in that gap for you? Like, what are you focused on now to get you from where you're at to that Leon Thomas, Usher type of playability?
yeah, I think it's involving more or different people in production. Um, and just being even more picky than I am now. Uh, and that I love all the producers I work with, like all super talented. But I think I also need to maybe go, okay, this beat is awesome. This is what I'm gonna choose. But I know the bass line could be better. I'm gonna bring in a really good bass player and like dissect this rather than just settling with the sub bass that was in there because it does sound cool, but it's not specific enough to like what I'm shooting for, you know? like picking apart production, which I feel like I've been doing, but yeah, it's just like trying to get to a whole nother level. And sometimes the reality of that is Leon Thomas and Usher, all these people, like they have resources to get in the room with D Mile and James Fauntleroy and like literally the best R&B producers and musicians that are on earth. So that certainly helps, right? And I'm trying to create my own version of that without spending $100,000 on production for my album, you know?
Right.
Um, but yeah, and maybe I need to spend more money too. Like maybe I need to like, all right, I'm gonna hire the guy. Like maybe it's just like that's what it takes, and my song will come from a 9.2 to a 10. Like that, maybe that's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, just vocal ability. Like I think I just need to be a better singer. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the time to just put in more work in that. Like I feel like I'm working really hard, but I'm spread pretty thin just with everything I need to do during the day. And I wish I had a little more time to just like do vocal exercises and just sing for the sake of singing and being technical about it, not all right, I gotta make this song because this is due and I owe this person a feature or whatever it is, you know, like
Right.
um back in the day I had more time to do that, and that's where I feel like I showed the most improvement. And I feel like I've been doing less work in showing this the same amount of improvement because I'm more intentional within that time and I'm better now. But if I put the same amount of time that I did before with the level of intention, with the level of intent that I do now, I feel like I can be like in a year from now, I would be really, really, really good at singing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Like I can
Yeah.
just pull up to a show and everyone's just like, this dude's a fucking menace. Like he's like unbelievable, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I pull up to a show now and people are like, yeah, he's dope. He's really good. But I want people to be like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I
Right.
seeing? You know?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I just need to be better, bro. That's it. Like I don't know how else to put it. Like I'm trying to be hard on myself while giving myself some grace. But lately it's just been like, yeah, I need to be better. I need to go harder. That's life. You
Yeah.
know?
I think being aware of it and working toward it is the surefire way to get there. So yeah, confident you'll get it. I'm focused on similar things, becoming a better singer. I want to be better at playing instruments as well, like guitar and piano. A lot of my songs they just start off with like a guitar line, then we kind of build around it. And um, I think if I had a better ability to just like pick up instruments and like lay down demo ideas and then take it to my producers and be like, all right, help me like shape this out and perfect it. I think I would just unlock a whole other layer of like creative ability. I always use the comparison of like painting with a full color palette, you know? You can just paint a prettier picture if you have all the colors. And I think if I'm making music that involves guitars and like my skill on guitar is somewhere in the middle of the road, I'm probably not painting with all the colors that I could be, you know? I mean, I can pick up a guitar and I can play, but I'm not like amazing at it. Like there's other guys that I trust to do a better job at that
Sure.
than me.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there's things like that I'm trying to improve as well. Trying to become a better singer as well. I've came a long way with that. Um,
Yeah, you definitely have.
even from the time you knew me. Like I think when I moved into LA, like I like hit a note or whatever, but just wasn't great. Um,
I didn't view you as a singer at all when I met you,
yeah, and I
to be
wasn't.
honest. Like
Yeah.
you were like rapping, like one of the first things you showed me, you were like rapping over like a J. Cole beat or something.
Mhm.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, you're dope." But like I wasn't thinking you were gonna also make, you know.
Stars to shame.
Yeah, like exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, same thing. I'm just trying to improve my ability. I really admire John Bellion for that. Dude, like, see his videos and he's like singing, such a good singer, and then he'll just walk over and start ripping the piano, dude. Like, beautiful piano playing. He feels like a guy that is has a full toolkit, dude. Like, if he, I
Yeah,
feel like
he's like the
if he
definition of
like,
that.
yeah, if he thinks of some idea in his head, some melody or whatever, he just sits down and plays it. There's no resistance between his ideas and creating them.
Yeah.
I would like to get closer to that, to having no resistance between my ideas and creating them.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, even I know I said Leon Thomas before, just I'm super inspired by that guy and like the music he's made. Um, but I saw his show the other night in LA and he didn't miss a fucking note, first of all. He didn't miss a note for 90 minutes straight. And then he would also kick his drummer off the set and do a solo on to his own song on the drums and just like smash it just as hard as his drummer did.
That's crazy.
And then just like rip guitar solo. I'm watching this and I'm just like I'm trying to just enjoy it and be there in a moment, but I'm also looking at it and be like, bro, this guy is worlds better than me at music. And I wasn't in like it wasn't in like a jealousy way. I was like inspired by it. And
Yeah.
do I have the want to like be a drummer? Like no, but it's like the amount of showmanship and just things that he gave us as an entertainer was really inspiring. And I was just like, how can I become that good of a singer? Never mind the fucking drumming and guitar solos. Like, how can I just get to that where like, you know, he was just smoking it the whole night. And I was just like, wow. And also part of me felt like I wasn't that far off for that part of it. You know, I was like, yo, I can like do this. Like I can do that. Cause I see, okay, for the show, he chose to sing it in this octave when in the song it's actually an octave higher. So he like saved himself from making a mistake where maybe he was like, oh, I was gonna fuck that up if I try to do that live in between this song and that song. But it still sounded fantastic where it seemed like it was seamless, right?
Right.
But it was I don't want to say it was like a cheat code, but it was also like he was aware of like this is what I can do to pull off an exact like perfect show, and it felt like that. It was like perfect, you know. So yeah,
That's a whole other thing to recording as well, is being mindful of, if I record the song in my studio, am I able to sing it live?
yeah,
That's a huge thing that you don't really think of until, like, down the road, like, you're touring and then you're like, "Shit, like, I don't know if I can sing this the same way that I did in the studio." I'll have those thoughts now, like, I'll be recording a song, and if I'm going, like, too crazy with the melodies, like, singing way too high, I'll be like, "Alright, maybe I should figure out something else, because when it comes time to sing this live and people wanna hear it this way, I'm gonna sound like a jackass."
yeah. But also, there's that studio magic where like if it sounds amazing on record, you can do a different version live, and people will still love it. I think they'll probably actually appreciate it even more because they're like, "Wow, that was a cool rendition," you know.
True, yeah.
I I don't think
Yeah.
you've ever even seen me perform a full set live, which is fucking insane.
No, I haven't seen a full set. No, I've seen you do songs where you come up on stage with Abstract or
Yeah.
wherever. That
So
is
my
crazy, yeah.
song "Sweat,"
Mhm.
very hard song to sing. I'm singing like from the fucking depths of my fucking body. I don't even know where it's coming from. Like it's such a high note for that whole hook, and I can do it now, and it sounds like the record. But like I was performing that song for like 3 years in like a lower octave, or just like not singing it well, like when it first came out, because it's so fucking hard to sing. So I had to like teach myself how to sing it again, almost like. Um, but yeah, there's so many like levels of just trying to be as good as you can, and like I said, just like trusting yourself at the same time. And I think done is better than perfect still. Like I'm not saying sit in your room and overthink one line for 8 months and never put any music out, you know, but also I hate hearing music that just comes across as lazy and it's like they just one taked it and they're just like, yep,
Yeah.
this is done. I feel like something that's really pissed me off about Drake, not that he cares about what I think, not that anyone cares about what I think about Drake, because Drake has earned to do whatever the fuck he wants at this point. But the last few albums, you can just listen to him and it as a recording artist, I know he just fired that thing up, cut what he wrote, and then they were like, all right, we're just going to mix this and put it out.
Yeah.
It's so fucking lazy sounding,
Yeah.
and it pisses me off because I feel like he's one of the people that is like the standard where other artists hear him, like younger artists that, you know, are just getting started. They hear that and now they're shooting for that. And they're just like, oh, yeah, it's okay to just be, you know, miss 3 notes in this hook where it's like everyone's singing along to this in the club. And it's like, bro, you didn't even try to sing that well. You can
Right.
do it. Like Drake's not a great vocalist, like when it comes to singing ability, but like he's capable.
Yeah.
Listen to Take Care. Like you can tell Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. He was in there and 40 was like, yo, sing that again, sing it
Yeah.
this way. Like he put hours into those songs and that's why they sound so good and that's why they're timeless. And that's why all this shit that he's putting out right now. I don't even know a Drake song from the last 5 years. Like I'm so tapped out.
Yeah.
And I love Drake, bro. He's like the GOAT to me. But
Yeah.
I just know he's been like hella lazy with it. And I really hate it.
Yeah.
And I hope he hears this too.
I know he will. Yeah, he's super tapped in to the
He's one of
Soundcheck
the
pod.
he's one of the I think our last YouTube video had 54 views. He's one of the 54.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So let me know if you want to come through. I'll coach you through your next album. I'll sit right here with you.
Yeah, he hit me up and said he wanted to be on the podcast, but I told him like, probably not.
Maybe after tour.
Yeah, like Drake on the podcast, I don't know. I mean, we would blow him up kinda, but I don't know if I'm trying to give Drake that handout, you
All
know?
right. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's just wrapping up, I think it's just important to identify exactly what you're aiming for, and that's like step 1. And then just like, yeah, just figure out the gap between what you're doing and what that is. Like, here's something I want to ask you. What's your favorite song ever?
Um, Ever? I don't know. Ever's tough. I can tell you what my favorite song is probably for the last 6 months.
Okay, go ahead.
Wash by John Bellion.
Okay, love that song.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Do you think you should make that song?
I mean, if I make that same song now, there's the whole argument of like, well, this already exists. So like, why would we
Okay,
listen to you
not the
if we have
exact
John
song,
Bellion?
but like, do you think you should make an equivalent of that style and like vibe?
Yeah, I would love to make an equivalent to that style and vibe.
Okay, so what are the things that like you need to put in motion to get to like what you have access to and what you are doing in this exact moment to like make that thing?
Um,
And maybe it's things we already talked about, but
yeah,
you know, because there's songs that I hear that I'm like, damn, this is like an amazing song.
yeah,
And then I go, but I don't want to make this type of song. So I'm
yeah,
just going to appreciate this song and it's going to exist, but I'm not going to try to figure out how to get there. Right.
yeah. I think it's a lot of everything we talked about all needs to come together in a good harmony for me. To make that same song, I need to have better production, more intentional production. Um, I need to be a better singer. I mean, he's hitting some crazy runs on there that are just nice. Need to be a better singer. Um, I think I'm not too far off on the songwriting for that. Like when I listen to the lyrics of that, it doesn't sound like, man, this is a genius idea. Like I would never think of this. Like I think it sounds like, damn, like maybe on the right day in the right setting in this same vibe, I think I would write something similar to that. So I think it's just a matter of becoming better at singing, becoming a better musician so that I could even be in the predicament to make a song like that. You know, that shit's not gonna just fall out of the air. It's not gonna come to me if I'm strumming G, C, and D chords. You know what I mean? Just being technically better. Um, yeah, I think I'm headed there. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. It's just being more intentional and chasing it.
I think you can do anything you put your mind to, Adam.
Thank you, Dylan.
But that's kind of my point. It's like, what are you going to choose to put your mind to? And I think that's really what matters, you know?
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody. If I think it's also, there's a lot of value in just being very self-aware. Like if you're like a rapper and you make like boom bap songs currently, right? And then you hear John Bellion Wash and you're like, I'm going to do that. And it's like, one, you're not going to do that. Two, you shouldn't do that. Nobody wants to hear that from you,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, listen to, and this is why I think there's also value, especially if you're just starting, in like trying to copy things because you'll learn how they got there.
Yeah.
And then along the way, you'll find your own sauce and like do a little things different to put your own flavor on it. Like your final product forever shouldn't be an exact replica of someone else. But if you can
Absolutely.
figure out how to cover a song exactly from the production to the background vocals, then you figured out, oh, why'd they choose this? Oh, it's because it actually ends up sounding like this in the end. And then you can make your own version of that later, you know?
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, sorry, it's just
no, no, go
another
ahead.
thought I'm having about the Wash song. Even on top of the song itself and the sonics, that music video like took the experience to another level.
Mm-hmm.
Just around the song, like I'm sure you've seen it. He was in like Iceland or something, and it's like that's not some shit that you just step out in your backyard and film for content one
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Which obviously that takes so much money, like fly a film crew to Iceland and like do all that. Um, but I think that, like, seeing that, recognizing it, is how the, like, Anyone Else Sedona video came to be. It's like, damn, they, like, thought about this scenery and this idea and they, like, pre-planned it. They, like, took a trip for this specific vibe. I'm like, how can I do that in a way that's kind of, like, scaled back? So me and a couple buddies went to Sedona, Arizona. And, like, when I look at that video, it gives me the same feel of, like, okay, this was intentional. This was somewhere in a setting that's like kind of unique. It just doesn't look like, you see music content all the time and there's nothing wrong with it because we're in an age where you're supposed to pump out a quantity of content, so naturally the quality will get washed down a little bit. Um but yeah, just things like that. I think the whole even outside of making songs that are really good, I want to improve the presentation of it as well.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's more where the gap lies for you right now, is in that side of things, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe you're really close to making the type of songs that you want to be making. Because also I think in your genre, in the style that like you've kind of crafted, a lot of the music is typically like pretty simple production and like linear sounding. Like it's like most of the time like one vocal down the middle, like you just got to execute it well, and it's like guitar, bass, drum. That's kind of like the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not like you need to go, I need to find this like world class musician to like play this guitar loop. It's like, no, like you just need the vibes. And then maybe the gap is actually in what you're saying. And like the Sedona video is probably like a step in that direction of like, here's how to present this in a way that feels more, still authentic, but closer to like the version that I'm trying to give to everybody, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, good convo. Hopefully there's some people that get something out of this because it's just something that I've been thinking about a lot and trying to apply to myself. And I know I've probably said a lot of this out loud to you before, whether it's like about you or me or whatever, just kind of like
Yeah.
venting.
Yep.
And yeah, I think everyone can benefit from being more critical of themselves. Just don't overdo it and give yourself some grace. Um, I'm saying that to say to myself also, but you
Yeah.
know, just fucking do your thing. But don't be lazy and don't be complacent because you're never going to get better. And if you're listening to this and think that you don't need to get better, you're wrong, because everyone needs to get better. That's how you're going to be. Unless Drake is listening to this. Actually, no, he still needs to fucking hear that based on what I just said. So fuck you, Drake. Do better, dude. um, anyways, thanks for listening to another ep. We'll be back next week, and hope everyone has a fantastic January, whatever day this is.
Yep. Thanks for listening, y'all.
See ya.